truth of the word and reaching the good. Saving souls of the old, doing God's work with more to do. And he turning up every week and get lit. Making it church on Sunday, you can tune in and get your fix. Turn up, turn up, turn up. It's that weekly turn up, turn up, turn up. It's that weekly turn up, turn up, turn up. It's that weekly turn up, turn up, turn up.
I need to talk to you because some of you, I need to really talk to you because when we have gone through and we're coming out of this whole pandemic, I need you to understand that, listen, if you survived it on purpose. There's some circumcision that's going on. There's no need to be afraid of the future. God had to do some cutting. He had to do some cutting. He had to do some cutting. And you can't go back to what was God has done some cutting. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So watch this. Here it is. I need you to catch this. Because although circumcision today is not one of the flesh, I need you to understand that there still is a recovery period. God help me to preach it right. Although your flesh wasn't cut, your heart was, you still need to recover. And I need you to understand that recovery, your recovery period, hear me, saints of God, recovery is a season. You don't recover quickly. It takes some time to recover. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because you feel ready before you are ready. Because that's what God is trying to get you to see. It's not about money. It's not about stuff. He's trying to get you to see the potential of the thing while it's going through recovery. When I had a surgery on my ear, the doctor told me, he said, Luke, you can't hear in this ear right now because you're recovering. But there's potential in your hearing. And when you recover, you're going to be able to hear some things that other folk can't hear. You can't see it right now, Luke, because you're in the recovery room. And when I broke my finger, he wrapped it up. He said, now you can't move it like you want to move it because you're in the recovery room. But there's potential in your hand. And when it recovers, I wish I had somebody in here. When it recovers, you can't use it right now because it ain't recovered yet. But there is potential in it when it recovers. Here's my question. It's one thing to reach your potential. It's another thing to sustain it. You ain't got to shout with me. I'm going to shout all by myself today. Here it is. The critical part of recovery is, can you sustain your potential? Here it is, even when it's not being used. And I want to talk to somebody this morning because here it is. Here it is. You got out the bed. Yeah, you in the recovery room, but you didn't stay there long enough for God to do what he was trying to do. He brought you to the table, and when you got to the table, you thought you were healed. I come to talk to somebody that has unhooked your IV, put your slippers on, put your hat on your head and your Bible under your arm, and say, I am out of here. Because you know more than the nurses know that's trying to help you. Come here, just look at your Bible. And they can't tell me nothing, can't teach me nothing. So now you didn't got out the recovery room. But I've come this morning to tell you that you got to sit down somewhere until you heal. Because until you heal, you will never reach your full potential. Somebody say a measure of faith. God has given each one of us parameters. He's given each one of us a measure of faith. That word measure comes from a Greek word where we get the word metron. And those of us that know music and have studied anything about music, you know that a good music teacher will teach their students how to keep a note by using something called a metronome. A metronome. A metronome measures the distance of time between each note. Y'all not with me. It measures how much time you have to do what it is you have to do. If you come in too early, you off key. If you come in too late, you're off key. That there is a metrodome. I wish I had somebody. That there is a metrodome that tells you the distance you can go and how long you can be there. God has given you a measure, a metrodome of grace. God has given you. Shall you continue in sin that grace may abide? Certainly not. It is God that decides how long you stay in grace. It is God that decides how much potential you have. And I've come to talk to somebody that you know it's not man that decides how high you go. It's not man that decides how far you go. But God has given you a measure of grace. And so here it is. Watch this. So you must understand, hear me, come here, let me talk to you. You must understand that your potential may be unlimited, but your time is not. Let me talk to this side over here. You may have unlimited potential, but you do not have unlimited time. You are in the recovery room of life. Because God has a seed on the inside of you that he wants to water, that he wants to use, not just for you, for your children and your children's children. God is going to use something in you to bless grandbabies that you haven't even seen. And he's going to do it in you.
Pastor Luke, speaking the truth of the word and reaching the youth, saving souls of the old, doing God's work with mold.